Good morning. Today is Tuesday, the 19th of March, 2013. Here's the news that's worth talking about in Panama today. I was notified yesterday afternoon that the American woman who was murdered in Chiriquí, Georgia Tripp, was strangled. The government authorities received the autopsy report. The initial indications, or the people that showed up and looked at the body thought she had been stabbed to death. There was some blood. There was a knife under her leg that they found when they found the body, and they thought or assumed that she had been the victim of a stabbing. The result of the autopsy was different. It showed that she was strangled to death. She hit her head when she fell to the ground, which caused some bleeding. But she was not stabbed. So they are treating this case as a murder. They have a primary suspect, and that's where I stopped talking about it. What do you call it? When there's an arrest, I expect that an arrest will occur within the next, if it hasn't occurred already. I thought they were going to make an arrest yesterday afternoon. Maybe I just haven't heard about it yet. But I suspect within 24 to 48 hours there will be an arrest in this case. So that information, that story, and that situation will continue to evolve as more information becomes available. Okay. Moving on to the regular news in Panama. Every news media outlet in Panama today is being dominated by one story: the Metro bus situation. Now, on Friday, the 15th of March, the Metro bus system went into effect in the very last of what they call the trunk routes, the primary routes in Panama City that move around a lot of people. And the last of the Metro buses are off the streets in Panama City. So, yay, no more Metro buses. Well, it's one of those things. It's like you got to be careful what you asked for, because now you've got Metro buses. Well, now the Metro buses have to perform, and what they call in the media here users, the people that ride the buses, are complaining loudly. I mean, you bring in the 9 new trunk routes all at the same time. They're trying to get the Metro bus system installed and operating and running, and enough time to work the kinks out of it. And it's just the news cameras are going out there every day and putting cameras in the faces of the people, and they're just going, "It sucks. It's no good. There's not enough buses. I got to wait in line too long," and et cetera, et cetera. Now, what happens when it starts raining and there's no bus stops for these people? That's going to be the next thing. Not only do I got to wait for an hour, I'm standing here in the frigging rain. So the Metro bus, the fact of the matter is that if you have to ride on a Metro bus, or if you have to ride on one of the old Diablo Rojos, the Metro bus is a better deal, okay? It's a better piece of equipment. Fact. There were more of the old Red Devil buses, the Diablo Rojos, running around, but they could carry less people. So what that you end up with, I think the number was 1,700 of the old Red Devil buses, and there's 1,200 of the Metro buses, but the Metro buses can carry more people. So they did the math and said, okay, so this is how many people the Metro buses can move, and this is how many Diablo Rojos, this is how many people the old buses can move, and this is how many people the new buses can move. So this is how many of the new buses we need in order to move that many people. Well, the problem is they're not getting to the bus stops with the same frequency, so you're pissing people off. This whole thing of the Metro bus service and the quality of the service has been the story that's been dominating the news. This morning, President Martinelli went out on his Twitter account and he says, "The Metro bus system continues to cause problems for the users. Please," what they use the expression here, "change your batteries. Put the batteries in other words, kick it in the ass, get going." Because he says it's a very expensive monopoly to be providing a bad service. In other words, hello, come on guys, get it going here. We're not gonna, he can't take a hit on the Metro bus. The Metro bus was his baby, man. That was supposed to be the big thing to improve, the public transportation system. You know, that can't turn into a negative, man. That's bad, politically speaking. And then, of course, Romulo Rux, who's the primary one of the two leading candidates for the Cambio Democrático Party. He also came out and said that there's a company called Mibus. They have to take drastic steps in order to improve the service. So everybody's going schwack, 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 and they're just lining up and taking hits on these guys. But the Mibus representatives, the representatives of the company, came out in response to all this, and they're going, hey, wait a minute, we're providing the service. We've got, you know, he says here 1,200 buses. Like, all the buses that we got are out there running around. He says we got 24 buses right now that are down for maintenance. It's routine maintenance. We're fixing them and we put them back out as fast as we can. We've got 2,700 employees, and that all might be well and good. If you got 1,200 buses, then maybe you need some more, you know. I mean, listen, they're making a lot of money on this system. I mean, they're not losing money on it, okay? It's a money maker, and it's one of these things where it's good, better bus service, but it's got to be a political plus for the guys who put it in there, or they'll turn around and beat these guys up. Okay, so that's it. The bus story is a big story today, and it's what everybody's talking about in town today. So that's the big deal. Moving on to other things. In the Estrella, there are 17 firemen who have gone on a hunger strike. Now, this whole thing with the firemen is just flat-ass stupid. There's no other way to describe it. It's frigging dumb. And here's why. The government of Panama, a long time ago, I mean, I'm talking like a year ago, they negotiated with the firemen and they said, okay, we're going to give you a pay raise, and we're going to give you bonuses, and we're going to give you promotions, and here's all the things we're going to give you, and this is how it's going to work, and it's going to be implemented like this, blah, 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 blah. The firemen said, great, we're happy. They went away from the negotiation table thinking they had won a victory. Okay, there's a problem. The government never followed up on those promises, and they never paid them, actually gave them the money that they're supposed to be getting. Now they waited and they waited and they waited, and back in December, I think it was December, January, they kind of had a couple of conflicts, and then there was a spur of activity, and the government said, okay, well, we're going to transfer the money, and bada. They still haven't cut the checks. So now these guys are at the point, they're like, screw it, man. If the only thing we can do, you know, we're going to do anything we can to get paid. You know, and it's just friggin' dumb, man. You know, it just makes no sense. The government can write the checks today, and all of this negativity about firemen on, you know, getting arrested and blocking streets and getting into running gun battles, you know, tear gas versus fire hoses on the streets and all that stuff. It's unnecessary, self-inflicted, stupid. Nothing but bureaucracy. Cut the damn checks and be done with it. And whoever's dragging their ass on that needs to get their ass kicked up around their shoulders and get moving. It's really that simple. Okay, another little bit of politics here in the Telemetro. Sergio Galvez is the president of the National Assembly. He wants to get himself reelected as the president of the National Assembly, and he just simply doesn't. It doesn't seem like he has the support of the lawmakers in the National Assembly to get reelected. Every year, on the 1st of July, they do the session, which is going to be that year's of session, and they elect a new president. And this year was Sergio Galvez, and he wants to stay in the position. Well, they're kind of saying, no, Sergio, you know, you've had your turn. Get out, dude. It's time for somebody else. He's the fourth guy in the last 4 years. There hasn't been any re-elections, so somebody else will end up taking that position. So they're kind of putting out the smoke signals and saying, Sergio, no re-election for you, dude. Get out. Okay, in the education system, the government of Panama has built these new, what they call model schools. Now, it's always been the standard in Panama for a school to be a patch of dirt, walls, zinc roof, and a place where the kids sit down and go to school, and that's it. Pretty standard stuff. I mean, just cinder block walls, nothing fancy at all. I mean, you know, really simple. They're building these new, what they call model schools, which are bigger and better and more efficient and more attractive and kind of a place you might want to go, you know, learn something. Just better, you know. And they've got a bunch of them that they were under construction. I think there's like 4 of them. Pacora, La Chorera. There's like 4 of them, and they're about ready to go. You know, they weren't ready. They were hoping they were going to be ready for the first day of the school year. They weren't. But they're also picking and choosing, and they're putting the best teachers in this school. That's like a magnet thing almost, kind of. I don't know exactly what they're doing. I haven't looked at the details of it. I just know this, that Lucy Molinar, the Minister of Education, continues to improve the Panamanian public school system in leaps and bounds that haven't been made, changes that haven't been made since the system came into existence. So, okay, moving on, there was an incident where the police showed up. It was late at night. There was a bunch of people outside, and depending on whose version you believe of how it went down, the cops shot 2 guys. Now, the people that were there said the cops just showed up and started shooting. One cop shot one guy, one cop shot another guy, and they're dead. That's it. According to the cops, when they showed up, they responded to a call of a fight, and when they got there, somebody pulled a gun and started shooting at them, so they returned fire. So now there's an investigation that's going on, but it's one of these things when you have the police in a neighborhood and they're involved in a fatal shooting and 2 guys got killed, and they were like construction workers. Who knows exactly how it went down or what happened. I don't believe the cops would just show up and start open fire or start shooting. And I'm not really sure if I believe. I mean, this thing was like 2 a.m. and guys are drunk or stuff. You know, I'm not really sure, but I believe the version of the witnesses either. You know, I mean, there's a very good possibility that maybe they didn't open fire on the cops. Anyway, that's going to be investigated. Okay, and then starting here now, the gasoline is being sold by the liter in Panama. It doesn't make the gasoline any more expensive or cheap. It's just a different measure. You're still paying the same thing for the gas. Put the number 105 a liter. That is equal to $4 a gallon. Okay, so if you see 105, I'm looking at a sign here: 103, 110, 121, and a Delta station for different for the different kinds of gas. And most people just walk up and say, "Here, put $40 or $60 in it," and then who cares if you're buying liters or gallons? You know, the gas is going into your car and you're paying for it. Why they made this change, I have no idea, but they did. So anyway, here it comes. The gas is still costing you exactly the same as it did before. Okay, so that is it for today. That's all I've got for today, Tuesday, the 19th of March, 2013. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day. Bye.